what I want to share with you today is the self-discovery and the struggle I went through to accept who I was and who I am. And we go up through ups and downs and we still struggle. I still struggle. But I want you to know that we are all in it together. I am here to tell you, if this woman in front of you speaking to you today can do it, so can you. Then let me repeat. Think it, say it, and do it. Together we can make a difference. We can help each other. We can support each other. And as a woman from the Middle East, as a person that had no rights, no basic human right, I am here to fight. I am here to challenge. I am here to tell you, you have every right to be a human being. You have every right to be who you want to be. So do not allow anyone around you to tell you otherwise. Who am I? I was behind the shadow of somebody all the time till I started my business. And I got to the conference for the first time ever. Network with like-minded people. That's the reality. Now would you say that's the president? I found myself. So, this is the big picture. Don't stay local. Dream big. Aim.
Hi. Good morning. Hi, Laura.
Hi, Rebecca. I'm so excited. I don't have a coffee, but I have my water this morning. So.
Oh, I only have water too. I finished my coffee already. Welcome everyone to Coffee Talk Live and happy Wednesday. We are so glad that you are here with us today, this afternoon, tonight, whenever you're watching. Welcome. Today we are going to be talking about Facebook. Social media. We are going to start a month of social media conversations. So important to small business owners everywhere. But before we get started, I would like to ask, if you are watching, if you would like to comment and say hello, tell us where you are. We would love to know. Just please give StreamYard permission to use your name before you comment, and then we can see who you are. If you don't want to give StreamYard permission, that's okay. Just type your name with your comment so we can say hello right back. So now we want to talk about social media, particularly Facebook. And we have an expert to bring in. He does a lot of social media management and training, as well as all the IT stuff that Fariel and I do not know how to do behind the scenes for our Empower Group and by Fariel Image Consulting and Training. So I want to introduce Rigel Arbole. Rigel?
Morning.
Good morning. Good afternoon.
Hi, Laura. Hi, Rebecca. Good morning.
Good morning. Good evening where you are. Rigel is coming to us from the Philippines. So we are thankful for technology and thankful for him being here. Before we get started, we have Mary Haddad in Sydney. Hello, Sydney, a fellow Australian, Laura.
Yay, Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. I am in the US, but I'm sending you love. I miss Australia so much.
We're glad that you're watching, Mary. Okay, let's talk about Facebook. This is one I know that I'm the old gal here.
No,
as I like,
mind.
I'm the OG. I'm good with it. So I find that I primarily use Facebook more than some other things. Rigel, let's talk about Facebook. How popular is Facebook in the grand scheme of things?
Okay. Just to let people know, Facebook is actually still the #1 social media platform used around the world. And then it still surpasses YouTube by around 300 million plus users. And then it also surpasses Instagram by more than 900 million users.
Wow.
For its mhm,
No, it surprises me that it surpasses YouTube at this point.
mhm. And actually, for the business perspective, like its importance as an entrepreneur, Facebook are usually used by moms, dads, and different professionals. There's actually a study wherein the age range of Facebook users are between 25 to 34. So yeah, there are mostly moms, dads, and young professionals. These people are, I believe, have the purchasing power and have the buying habits. So if they're a mom, they can influence the whole family to buy the same thing. So if the whole family want it, you will get a lot of customers out of it. So Facebook has really a lot of business potential when you look at it.
That's amazing. So I was thinking that the age range of Facebook users was a little bit older than that at this point. So it's still kind of young, is what you're
Hmm.
saying.
Yes.
Interesting.
Actually, even though Instagram is getting more popular,
Mhm.
Facebook is also getting a lot of younger users. Like there's according to the one that I'm saying, that between the 25 to 34 is the most recent study release. And for the gender, actually more male use Facebook from ages 25 to 34. Hmm.
Interesting. That's really interesting.
Cool. Because I'm 38 and I remember, I think I might have been in my late teens when Facebook came into Australia. And so I always focus more on Facebook and then I
Hmm.
sprinkle in Instagram and YouTube. But
Hmm.
to be honest with you, when I'm personally using social media, I do resonate more with the Facebook. So that's interesting.
That is interesting because I had heard that older people, like young people, used Facebook and then their parents got on it. And so then they left. And so now Facebook, nobody wants to Facebook with their mom. And so that then I had heard that Facebook was actually kind of losing its pull, its power. It was kind of dwindling a little bit. So you're not seeing it losing its edge then in your studies, Rigel.
Yes. I don't believe it's losing its edge because it still has a lot of users and still the top social media platform used globally. So um, also when you search more with the studies based from the recent study published,
Mhm.
in a month, people spend around 19.6 hours in Facebook. That's the average.
Wait, how
And
many?
if 19.6 hours in a month.
Wow.
And if you will look at that 19.6 hours, that's a lot. And going to a business perspective, like that's also a lot of opportunities to reach your target audience.
It really is. Wow. That's almost like a full day. You would have people like potential access to people. I mean, I know that that's spread over a month, but that's crazy. That's a lot.
Rajul, I remember when we did a session and you asked everyone in the class, like you gave us the numbers and you were like, so how much of that do you think you're tapping into? And everyone's like, a little tiny bit. So you would be the person to talk to help with tapping into that market. And Facebook
Mhm.
sounds like a pretty powerful one. So yay.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I tend to use Facebook more. And it's weird because I have more followers on Instagram, but I get more engagement on Facebook. So like if I post something, if I post a question and I post the post on both Instagram and Facebook and it contains a question to my followers on Instagram, nobody will answer me. But
Yeah.
on Facebook, I will actually have some people answer. So that's kind of
There
interesting.
different communication, isn't there, Rajul and Rebecca? Like Instagram, I feel like it's more of a liking the photo kind of a thing. But
Mhm.
and I could be completely wrong, so I can't wait to hear your your response. But Facebook is more of a conversation in words, and maybe that's the age gap. So what's your take on that?
Actually, we actually have classifications for social media platforms. It's either search based or community based. And the reason why you're getting more engagements in Facebook because Facebook is a community based platform, and then
Ah,
Instagram is a search based platform.
Oh, search
oh,
based
that's,
as in hashtags.
Yes. So if you want
oh,
more engagements, I would really advise to use Facebook. And there are a lot of Facebook groups which you don't see in Instagram. So aside from like posting in your news feed, there are also Facebook groups which uh people like you, similar like you, can engage with.
oh, now see, that's a really interesting thing because I'm constantly, so I'm doing it backwards because I'm constantly thinking, well, everybody's using Instagram. Everybody says use Instagram, but I can't get people to engage with me on Instagram. And I'm trying to think of ways to get people to engage with me on Instagram when maybe if I want engagement, I should just stick to Facebook
You know,
for that goal, for that goal.
I personally love using the stories in both platforms, but for me, the real engagement for me on Instagram is when I use those polls, and maybe Rajul can share with us a little bit about that. But I use the questions like, do you like gold or silver? You know, I'm just saying,
Yeah, yeah.
putting things out. How cute is this color on this outfit? Do you prefer the red or the purple color? And when I do those polls, people absolutely interact with me on that. But when I ask questions in the post, in the picture, yeah, very rarely do I get answers on that. So Rajil, did you want to talk on
Mhm.
that for a minute?
Okay. Uh, I would like to confirm, Laura. Like when you ask in your post or in your stories, like
Yeah.
they usually put the questions in text or do you use like the mode in Instagram to ask the questions?
Oh, I think I understood what you're saying. Like I use the little tool so that they
Mm-hmm.
have to click on the answer. Like it's just a click on the stories. So
Mm-hmm.
that gets massive interaction for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, it's actually why Paul and like the mode for Instagram to ask questions is much more engaging because it's much more easier. Like when you try to look at it, like it's much more near at the middle of the screen to click on it than rather than replying to the story itself.
Yeah, you have to do more work when the words come
Hmm.
out, right?
Yes.
Nobody wants to work.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I like it for a way to like build relationships on
Hmm.
Instagram. And so after a while, I might DM people. I might take it off the poll and I might say, "Hey, I loved your answer," and ask them another question. And that's how I'm building relationships on Instagram. So yeah.
Great idea. We're going to take it back to Facebook, though, for just a minute. We have someone who said that it is getting more difficult to get them interactive. It is on Facebook. It definitely is. And then somebody asked, where do you see these statistics compared to Instagram? So where do you get your research, Rigel?
Okay. For statistics, there are actually a lot of resources wherein you can search for statistics, but I would really recommend get your numbers at We Social. We Are Social because there are a lot of published studies and statistics that you can go around there, and they also have like specific platforms which you can check to.
Very good. So if you're, see, for me, if I want the statistics, I just ask Rigel. Like, so tell me. But if you want to look them up yourself, if you don't have someone, there you
But
go. We are social.
but I would
Hello.
but I
I'm
would
sorry. Go ahead.
advise
Mhm.
like even though you have the statistics, you really need a good understanding to read along it because uh admittingly like most people don't love math and I'm one of those people. That's why I took
Oh,
communication. I took communication as my bachelor's degree course, and then when I graduated, I suddenly worked with analytics, and when I started processing numbers. So I didn't really get away with numbers. That's why working in a corporate setting, I started like processing these numbers and then started having realizations. Oh, with this number of users, you can come up with this kind of conclusions. So I would really advise, even if you have those numbers, get someone who will interpret those numbers.
Yeah, I love the offline conversations we have where Rigel says, "So let me ask you some questions, Rebecca." And I think he's going to ask me like about the Empower Group or by Fariel, and he'll say, "How are your analytics on your website? What's your engagement? What's your reach?" And he was asking me that one day, and I'm sure he could see me kind of glaze over. And I said, what does reach mean?" So definitely you need someone to help you understand the numbers. Having the numbers is one thing. Having someone to help you wade through what those numbers mean, it's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a moment and say hello to Fariel. Hello. Thank you for watching, Fariel. Yay. We have a Facebook user who says hello. Not sure who you are, but I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're watching. And we have, let's see, Fabiana from
Yay.
Amsterdam. She is Brazilian, but currently living in Amsterdam and getting her image consulting practice off the ground. We are so proud of her. She is a fellow Empower member. Hello, Fabiana. And she says, "Thank you guys for bringing Facebook to the discussion. I absolutely need to learn about it." I think that we all do. I think even if we understand Facebook, there's always something more that we could understand better or a little deeper. One of the things I've been riding the fence on, struggling with lately, is a Facebook group and kind of understanding. I know that there are some differences between a group and a page, and a group is more interactive. But what are some of the advantages to a small business owner and entrepreneur in setting up a Facebook group?
Okay. One thing that I would say as an advantage of utilizing Facebook group is you can connect with like-minded people. So, for example, if you have a page for single house moms who really need help with houseworks. So,
Mhm.
and if you're a single house mom who also need tips or hacks for housing for your
Mhm.
house, I will join that group. So, if you're an entrepreneur and you want to know like what exactly they are doing, I would really recommend like joining those kind of Facebook groups. It's You're connecting with like-minded individuals, and also when you try to search in their profile, you can also analyze like what are their behaviors, like what do
Mhm.
they usually share, what do they usually engage with. Like that's the advantage of using Facebook groups, like connecting with like-minded individuals, and you can also have an idea like what's the activity or profile of your target audience.
Oh, that's a great advantage. That's a really great advantage. So, what would some of the disadvantages be to having a Facebook group, do you think?
Okay.
Are there any?
Mhm. uh it's not just in Facebook group, but I will say like Facebook in general.
Mhm.
Like Facebook can be sometimes be addicting, because usually Facebook is used for entertainment, as an entertainment platform rather than connecting with people. Like it's based on your uses. So some people use it for entertainment, some people use it for networking or business. So
Mhm.
going to the entertainment side, sometimes it gets too entertaining that it gets too addicting. and
Ah,
and then
you spend too much time there.
mhm. And then Facebook is not, I would really also consider Facebook is not a private platform, because all the information, all of the posts that you're going to post are going to be made as public.
Even
So
in a group. Wow. Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
because even though you posted something in a private group, they might take screenshot out of it, and then they can
Oh,
see your name and your profile picture. So once they post it in a public side, which is like the news feed, they can search for your profile and then get all your information. In one case, like in my country, someone posted like bashing a disabled person in a Facebook group, like he's hating a disabled person, and then someone took a screenshot of it and then posted it in their news feeds, and then suddenly that post had a lot of like engagements, interactions, and then that man
Wow.
went viral. So I wouldn't really consider like Facebook group as private, even though it's tagged as a private group, because there's still the power of screenshots.
Very true, and such an important reminder to be on our best behavior online.
And we always have these phrases, like also in communication and marketing. I'm not sure if you also hear this in your country. We always say this in social media, like think before you click.
Yeah, that's a great one. That's a great piece of advice. So, okay, so there's lots of advantages to having a private Facebook group to reach your potential clients, to, I mean, like our Empower group. We're all
Mhm.
like-minded. We don't all do the same thing necessarily, but we all are entrepreneurs. We're all looking for success and independence and running our own businesses, building successful businesses. So it is a great way that we can all connect with each other, and it's such a great community. Like it's don't you guys think so? Like it's so supportive. And we don't
Yeah,
have any mean
Mhm.
people. I love that. There are no mean people in the Empower group.
I agree. But Rajul, it's a group, right? And they use
Mhm.
Facebook groups for the community. And so I kind of liken Facebook groups to building your community of your people so you can
Mhm.
share and build the trust and the relationship in there. It's kind of like a VIP sort of experience.
Mhm.
Is that kind of how people are using the group aspect to Facebook?
I'm sorry.
Is that how people you think are using Facebook groups for their business? It's kind of like inviting their people or their clients, people who are like minded to them, into an exclusive VIP experience. And then they can share their content with people who are all on the same page as their business sort of target
Mhm.
market. Is that how people use Facebook groups, like a VIP experience?
Actually, it depends, like from your purpose, because usually you use a tool depending on its purpose. So
Mhm.
you can use Facebook groups for business side, which is like what you said as an example, like having like a VIP membership for Facebook groups. And then you can also create a free Facebook group, like wherein all members can engage, share their crafts, share their tips. uh we also have those kind of groups, and then we also have like another group which is somehow on the bad side, like somehow bashing.
Oh,
And there are, because there are really like Facebook groups who is established, who, I mean, or rather who are created just to bash an entity or like an specific artist.
really? Huh.
Yes.
Terrible.
Thought that that would be against the guidelines. I
I
mean,
would
that
think
Mhm.
so too.
usually shuts down things pretty quickly, right? Just saying. Crazy.
That is
Mhm.
crazy. Okay, we have a question for you, Rigel. Fabiana wants to know, would you recommend having someone creating our content, or should we do it ourselves?
Okay. I would suggest you can if you're having like a small business, you can start creating your content like on the side.
Mhm.
But as your business grows, or if your created contents doesn't really get those engagements, I will then recommend like hiring someone to create your content. Because
Okay.
if you, for example, if you're creating content for 3 months and you don't see any growth with your engagements, with your likes, with your followers, I think that's the time wherein you need to hire someone who can do
Mhm.
and research for you, because creating content using specific keywords needs a lot of research. And a business person and a creative person have different views in using social media. So
Mm.
I would recommend like testing it, like for your part, like do a trial for like 3 months, and if doesn't really do well, then hire someone afterwards.
Good tip. That's a very good tip. Yeah, try some things out and experiment just a little bit. Gosh, I'm probably almost to the point where I need to be hiring somebody to create my content. I just don't have time.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to complain because business is good, so I'm not going to complain. Okay, Fabiana has another question. I heard that Facebook is more social, family, friends interaction, whereas Instagram suits better those seeking to convert followers into clients. Your thought?
Okay. Um, I think in this part, I would have this be explained in the our Empower group sessions, because there are specific strategies that you can use for Facebook, and there are also specific strategies that you can use for Instagram. And these
Mm-hmm.
platform users have different purchasing power. Like its audience or like users have like this kind of purchasing power and then this kind of purchasing power. So I will explain this in our Empower group session. And if you're interested to like learn more about this, please comment down below and we will send you, I mean, we will give you like a 1 week free access that gives you like one free session for which I will discuss like this about Facebook.
Yes, and so what Rigel is inviting you all to is to come taste and experience the Empower Group. Throughout the month of May, every single week, we are going to take on a different, well, not we, who am I talking about? We, Rigel is going to take on teaching and explaining a different social media platform. And I think we're going to cover them all. It's probably going to go into June. So the Empower members are going to get this great social media training. And let me tell you, we are purposely keeping it vague right now because we want you all to be enticed to come visit us and see what our members are going to be learning throughout May. We're going to take a deep dive, like the title of our Coffee Talk Live, a deep dive into Facebook. We're going to do one week, we're going to do Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I think maybe we're going to throw in some LinkedIn, I'm not sure, and websites. So a lot of this is fantastic training that entrepreneurs need. It's something that is, I mean, it's hard. First of all, it's hard to know who to hire for training when you want to do training, who's got the really great class, but our members are going to get these really great classes as part of their regular membership. So we would love to have anyone watching who is interested in growing and developing not only professionally and their skills in the image, beauty, fitness, fashion industries, makeup artists, hairstylists, photographers, but also just entrepreneurs who need to learn and grow and need a community of other entrepreneurs where they can hang with their people. Really.
And Rebecca, let me tell you, I've implemented a couple of Rajel's tips. Really, like not time using. It's just like a few things that I implemented over the last month. And I will say it has increased my interactions on Instagram and Facebook. So I won't tell you what, but just come and see one of our sessions in the morning for free. Because if you got one tip that you can implement today in your business that's going to help you, like, I think that's well worth the time spent, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I used one of his tips, and I'm not going to say which one either. And
Can I
then
guess?
he did go through my my analytics with me, and it was very, very clear that there was a major impact on my reach and impressions and engagements and all that just by using his tips. So I'm telling you, this is great training. Every single Tuesday at 8:30 in the morning Eastern time, we get together as a group online via Zoom. We have members from literally all over the planet, and we talk about all things business and
Love it. Love it.
making money and building our skills and our professional personas.
Hey, it's time. Rigel, you are seriously amazing. Thank you so much. I can't wait to hear the rest of your 4-week training in the Empower group. Rebecca, I love you so much. I've had so much fun learning from you two today.
Ah, Thanks. I love you too. I can't do that heart thing people can do. I know this has gone so fast, and we think. We have our Facebook user was Marie Cabas. Speaking of French Canadians, the lovely Marie. She is a face yoga specialist, and also do a little face yoga with Marie. You will feel it in your face. Keep those facial muscles toned. You will definitely feel it. But we thank everyone for being here, and we hope to see some of you on Tuesday. Again, like Rigel said, post a comment. Even if you're watching later, post a comment on this video, and we are happy to send you a link to come join us for a week. And you can kind of see what this is all about and how valuable this membership is. I promise, we all have memberships to a million things. I promise the Empower Group membership is literally one of the most powerful and valuable ones you can get if you are a small business person and working to build that success. This is the place you want to be.
Sorry, I just chime in because I just realized if you want to know more about the Empower Group, just put Empower below so we know, right? Because otherwise.
Great idea.
Yeah.
Great idea. All right, Rigel, thank you so much for being here today. We look forward to Tuesday and all you have to teach us, and we appreciate all that you do for us. Thank you, my friend.
Actually, I just want to say like one more thing.
Please
And
do.
it's going to like make people wonder about it. Like your Facebook profiles are not really your asset or like your property. Because even though you created like your profile in Facebook, it's not totally, I mean, you created an account for free, but it's not really free. Because even though you created like a free account, and if Facebook like suddenly shut down, you won't have your Facebook profile, your Facebook audience. So I would recommend, like, aside from Facebook, use other social media platforms. But for now, in this talk, we will be discussing like how to reach your market using Facebook.
You just opened a can of worms and we're ending the call. Thanks, Rigel. Actually, that's why I have an app, because I'm leading people into my community off Facebook. So interesting. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah. Now Laura and I are both going, well, shoot. So much more to learn and do.
That's why we have like different social media platforms to discuss every Tuesday of the month. So if you want to learn like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, we got it for you every Tuesday this month of May. So I would really advise everyone to comment down like Empower, and we will give you like 1 week, one free session to listen in one of my presentations.
You do not want to miss this. Trust me. Trust me.
Hey.
All right. Thanks, guys. And we will see hopefully many people on Tuesday, and we'll definitely be back next Wednesday at 11 Eastern. Thanks for watching.
Bye.